大家好。Why I'm speaking Chinese? I should be speaking English. All right, let's go with English. So, there's quite a few confusions around the fact that, hey, when you're using a cell phone, what's happening? Like, you tap an application, an app on your phone. It runs and it can do something interesting. But what's happening behind the scene? I'm not sure how many people understand on a high level, understand what's going on there. So I want to make a simple video just to explain a little bit. Your cell phone, your best friend, right? For many of the kids and grown-ups, they can't live without a cell phone. Okay, let's say here's your phone. Most of the cell phones today are full screen phones. Basically, there's no hard keys here on the screen. There's some buttons here, like keys here, volume up, volume down. There's a power button here, and some other buttons there. Let's focus on the right thing here. So, say this is the power button. Power. This is like a volume plus, volume minus. Okay. Use your hand to press the power button, and your phone will just wake up. What's happening there? Well, before we get there, we have to understand what are the things that are built into a phone. On a high level, there's a few things. This is the display screen. We call this screen. Some sort of a specific material with the display that with electronic signal, they can show you something. Okay, display screen. Underneath, right there underneath, that's the touch panel. Okay, so because when you're touching on the phone reacts. Like, hey, and you're touching here. Okay, I'm going to take that, go somewhere and do something. So there's a touch panel where when you touch, it will detect your finger there by a certain mechanism, in scientific terms, some certain mechanism there. So display is what you see. Touch panel is what they can detect, your finger touch there. Okay. And this is the kind of the front-facing stuff. There are cameras here. See, this is the camera here, the front-facing camera here. There are multiple cameras on the back usually because you want to take more photos there from the back side. They are okay. Those are the outside things basically. Inside, what's inside? Is basically a computer, small computer. So what's inside? So there is some processor. Some processor. Actually, there are multiple. I'm just simplifying. There's a processor. Some processors there. There's some memory, which will remember things happening and store some information there that can be used for the processor to compute. So they're connected. Okay, memory is like when the phone is on, it saves the information there. When the phone is powered off, it loses all the information. So to save your stuff when you're powered off, there is something called a storage. Storage, like when you power off the phone, you still have your apps, your data, your photos. Those are like being used to store your information even if your phone is powered off. Okay, and there's a big piece of things we always need, which is the battery. The battery, which is basically power all these pieces here. Like keep them on, like keep working. Otherwise, those electronic components, they will not work without power. Okay, what else there? Well, we have to kind of draw this on this side. Let's call this graphics. Graphics is what will basically say, hey, I'm going to take your command from the processor. I'm going to translate that into something that can be displayed. Remember the display screen here. So let's go this way. So processor will ask the graphics unit to say, you guys go compute something and show that onto the screen. So go this way, compute and show here. Okay. You might ask, like, okay, how do they detect my touch events here, right, on the thing, right? Touch panel. This is an electronic component that will talk to, apparently, that will talk to the processor when something happened here. So when you touch, right, touch panel is like, okay, there's something happening, processor. You need to compute to see which app is being touched, figure out how you're going to update the display. Like when you tap on, say, Google Photos application, Google Photo will run, right? What's happening here is touch panel will say, hey, someone is touching coordinate 325, 484. I'm just imagine, this is a fake coordinate there. And processor, you need to do something. Processor like, all right, let me figure. That coordinate, isn't that what Google Photos icon is? Okay, so it sounds like the kid is trying to hit Google Photos. Hey, graphics, you go bring up Google Photos main screen to that guy. Graphics unit is like, okay. Let me figure. What need to be displayed? Is that a fancy images or some other buttons, some menus, even some photos to be shown? So graphics will compute that screen and take that to the display saying, this is the picture you want to show with several components in there. So that's kind of the flow there. Yeah, I think that's the basic, like from a compute perspective, those are the basic things. Now, you have a phone, right? So you know that your phone has communication functions where you can get data, right? And you can go on internet or Wi-Fi. There are some communication unit here. So one is called the cellular unit, which is to connect to the internet. When you're outside, you connect to data, you get data connection to the internet. So internet. Oh, this is outside the phone. This is the phone. This is the outside. So cell, this special unit will connect to the cellular towers, and from there it will go to the internet. Let's draw a cellular tower here. I'm not good to draw here. I don't know, like this. Yeah, cellular tower, and go to the internet. And you might also remember that sometimes you use Wi-Fi at home. So there is a Wi-Fi chip. The Wi-Fi chip is like, okay, I'm going to connect to internet over this guy's router, some Wi-Fi router here, and then to the internet. So at home, you probably likely will be connecting the internet over your Wi-Fi network, home Wi-Fi network. Okay. Of course, all these things are being controlled by the main processors. They're all like the command control center. This is the command control center that will control all these connectivity options. Some smart kid may say, yeah, I have a Bluetooth, which will allow me to connect to my speakers or my headphones. Yeah, that's another chip. Again, that will be controlled by the processor, and they will talk to the BT devices, like your headphone or speakers, things like that. I'm hoping that I will give you a pretty okay overview of what are the things inside the phone, how they connect. The key things to remember is, I'm going to use a color pencil here, is the processor is the headquarters of your device. And you got several main functions, connectivity functions, storage and memory functions, graphics and display functions, of course, a battery, because this is the mobile device. Okay? Just to be clear, it's almost the same architecture for your laptop, for your iPad. They're all the same, all have the same pieces. Differences? Well, sometimes, your laptop may not have a touch panel, but it has a display, right? Your iPad has everything. Your Wi-Fi iPad may not have the cellular function, but they have Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Okay? I'm hoping that this will help you understand a little bit about your phone. And feel free to subscribe and ask me questions in the comments. Thank you.